Written communication is an essential means of communicating in a formal environment. It is one of the most widely accepted means of communicating because of its purpose. And the purpose of a written communication includes number one, for the sake of formality. Without written communication, a lot of things might not be enforceable. Example, in a contract, in an employment contract, where an employer and an employer have an agreement, without the basic elements in the written agreement, one party might default and the other party might not be able to enforce. This is why written communication is highly essential in an environment, especially a business environment. My name is Benson Kudirat and I'm a team member in Team 6. I have my partner here to describe the entire written environment.
So the writing process. The writing process is very essential to any organization, be it formal or informal. There are types of forms of writing in an organization, which is the letters, contracts, proposals, agreements, and so forth and so on. So it is very realistic. Writing can serve as a basis of agreement. We're talking about the reference part. It's always the basis of agreement. It can always be referred to, even in the court of law. We're talking about it being realistic. It is very realistic. It can be seen. Just the fact that it can be seen makes it very realistic. Then it is very procedural. You move from one stage to the other. It has stages that must be. It has stages that must be adhered to. So the writing process involves two stages, which is the use of the physical and the mental actions, which to put writings into text. Thank you very much.
My name is Omitayo Soji Ayomide, and we are here to discuss the key concepts in writing process. So we begin with the audience. Audience are those set of people who receive and decode the message in the writing process. So without this set of people, we cannot have a good writing process, because it's just like going out without a destination. So the audience are very essential in the concept of the writing process.
My name is David Abiodun. So I'll be talking about the audience analysis. So the audience analysis is talking about knowing what your audience wants, knowing what they believe in, and trying to correspond to what you have with their beliefs also. Because you must know the knowledge of your audience. You can't just write, like, for instance now, if you are in a manufacturing company and you want to write to a construction company, you have to blend yourself to them so you can be able to talk in line with what they know and their interests. Thank you.
Then the next concept here is the brainstorming. This is a very relevant part in the writing process. Brainstorming is a process of listing ideas, creating content by listing ideas as they come to our minds. Without brainstorming, it is just like a food without salt. It is tasteless. So brainstorming has to do with listing of critical ideas in the writing process, organizing them in order to pass a very itch-free and effective communication to our target audience. Thank you.
So free writing is kind of similar to brainstorming. So free writing is the process of writing what you have brainstormed. Like brainstorming is thinking of the ideas, while free writing is putting them down. Like everybody in the room will be giving different ideas, and the free writing, they'll be writing them down. Thank you.
The final stage, although it is not limited to this, is credibility. Credibility is a very, very critical part in the writing concept, because without being credible, you may not even be able to attract audience to read what you have written or to listen to what you have written. Because if your integrity is questionable here, people won't be really interested in what you have written. So credibility matters a lot in all we do. Thank you. Our colleague will take it from here.
My name is Gbadebo Anoluwapo. We are here to discuss the 5 phases in a writing process. The first stage is pre-writing. Pre-writing is the first stage in a typical writing process, and pre-writing can also be known as the planning process. It is generally recognized that most writers spend 40% of their time planning the document. Pre-writing entails gathering all relevant information and to elucidate and support the subject matter and planning the ideas and thoughts in a way that efficiently develops the topic.
My name is Onka Ngozi Mata, and I'm going to be talking about drafting, which is the second stage in the writing process. Drafting is the process where the writer highlights the main points or the main ideas in a write-up, and by doing so, he's going to be able to remove complicated or seemingly hard information in the write-up, and he can do this by adding more information or finding claims or finding arguments or additional information to back up his write-up. In drafting, the writer is expected to spend just 20% of his time doing a rough draft.
Then the third stage is revisiting. Once a rough draft is created, the writer should take some time to move away from the essay to get a better or newer version of the whole point. Revisiting is looking back at the whole idea and making sure it fits the purpose of the document.
So the fourth stage in the writing process is editing and proofreading. Editing and proofreading are the two forms of tasks writers undertake to significantly increase or improve or enhance the quality of the write-up. To proofread, you essentially or you simply check for the content errors in the write-up, like misrepresentations or writing or formatting problems. To edit, you simply check for grammatical errors, punctuation problems, and the likes of it.
Then the last stage is publishing. Writing is an exercise in communication, and publishing is all about publicizing your final reports to someone or a targeted group.
My name is Amida Asmuritala. I'm here to talk about the basic tasks in writing processes. There are 5 basic tasks in writing processes. Number 1 is pre-writing. In pre-writing, basic task in pre-writing is planning. You have to plan your ideas to decide exactly what you want to write. You can't just start writing like that. And as I want to research, you have to research for ideas, what you want to write. You have to research for it and look for different kind of ideas so it can make sense. Then the second stage is drafting. After pre-writing your ideas, then for your idea in the rough shape, then you have to write it down in the materials you need. Basic task involved in that writing is outlining your ideas in the materials, then develops a paragraph and use phrases to link to your ideas too. Next person.
My name is Absalam Kadijat. I'm telling the basic tasks involved in revisiting stage. Revisiting stage is a stage where you take a closer look at what you're writing. It ensures that you meet the high standard of your writing. During this stage, you make changes that enhance the overall quality of your writing. The basic tasks involve read what you've written again to ensure to be free of errors, rearrange your words, sentences or paragraphs to make a clear and logical word order. Take out or add parts in your writing. Do more research if you think you should, if it is necessary. Replace overused or unclear words in your writing. Read your writing aloud to be sure that it flows smoothly. Thank you.
I'm Udichi Nwamaka. I'm here to talk about the first stage in the writing process. The first stage in the writing process is the editing. And the basic tasks involved in editing are reviewing the writing process, proofreading, and making changes to the draft to improve the clarity and effectiveness of the write-up. The last and final stage in the writing process is the publishing. The tasks involved in publishing are finalizing the written information,
creating a cover letter or a query letter, and submitting the written information to either an instructor or a publisher. Thank you.
The points explained by my team members, Team 6, we've been able to explain and make you understand how and why written communication is very essential in an organization, from knowing the stages to knowing the task you need to carry out in each phases of written communication. With this, you'll be able to achieve your objective. We hope you were able to enjoy our performance. Thank you, Team 6.